Let's start, of course, with the U.S. allegations that Iran is behind these attacks. Are the drone attacks Iran's way of sending a message to Saudi Arabia and indeed to the U.S.?
Hello, and thanks for having me. Well, as a matter of fact, this is another allegation by the United States, and they've never been able to prove anything. They've been raising similar allegations against Iran in the past when the Houthis started using ballistic missile technology in the war against Saudi Arabia. As long as these claims and allegations are not supported by a shred of evidence, any corroborative and substantiating proof, they are worthless, because some others could say that this has been Netanyahu's Israel that has rushed to escalate the situation before a next week meeting of the UN General Assembly, where there could be a meeting between Iranian and American presidents. Although Iran has ruled out any such meeting, still some believe that Trump is very much looking for a meeting with President Rouhani, and Netanyahu is afraid of any such development. So he's been trying to escalate the situation. But as long as these theories and assumptions are not proved by corroborative evidence, they are worthless.
But hang on, Iran is supplying and arming Shiite militias in Yemen, in Iraq and other areas, right?
No. As a matter of fact, Iran has been very much eloquent in stressing its support for the Lebanese Hezbollah movement, for Palestinian movements,
Mustafa,
Syria
there
and Iraq.
Pictures
they have been
of
stressing
Iraqi
at the highest
Shiite
levels, but not
militias
Yemen.
with Iranian weaponry.
Oh, no. At a time when Iraq was being under attack by the ISIL terrorist group, and they were very close to Shiite cities and to the borders with Iran in the east, then the Baghdad government, as well as the Kurdistan government, called for help. And according to the senior Kurdish officials, Iran was the first to rush to their aid. Before sending arms to other groups, including the Shiites, Iran armed the Kurdish groups and pushed the ISIL back. That was an aid to the Iraqi nation, not just the Shiites, Sunnis, or the Kurds.
But now it's being claimed by the U.S. officials that some of those same Iraqi Shiite groups in Basra are launching these drone attacks on Saudi Aramco.
Well, first of all, Iran has never supplied drone to the Shiite groups. We are talking here about arms, rifles, machine guns, and so on and so forth, when we are talking about Iran's arms shipments to the Iraqis, not just the Shiite groups in Iraq. Secondly, as I said, they have never been able to prove anything. That's because I believe there is something wrong with the Americans, as well as other Western politicians and some media, believing that a nation could develop its own technology and could have its own military systems. What they have learned, that the main aid that Iran has rendered to all other groups, including the Yemenis, is not its arms shipments or technology. It has been teaching them to stand on their own feet when they are under attack, to teach them how to fight in an asymmetrical war. This is the main lesson that Iran has been giving to all groups across the region, not the arms shipment or the technology. The Americans have been raising similar claims about the missile technology. When they started in Yemen, they started attacks on Saudis. But despite the hilarious show that Nikki Haley staged at the UN, even NATO allies never came to believe what they claimed about Iran's missile aid to the Yemenis. Later, the Yemenis stressed that they had received these ballistic missiles from Russia over a decade ago under President Ali Abdullah Saleh, and the Russians confirmed the shipment. Later also, the Yemenis, the Yemeni army and their chief commanders stressed that the same ballistic missile had been tampered by the Yemeni defense engineers for new objectives in Saudi Arabia. So if they have the engineers in the defense field to change these ballistic missile technology to strike new targets in Saudi Arabia, how come they don't have the same experts or engineers to change civilian drones, primitive ones, into military ones for military applications? Last night, a Saudi expert, military expert, told the Russian media that the sophisticated air defense shield that they had purchased from the United States had failed to intercept and even to trace the Yemeni drones because they are primitive ones.
Okay.
So they have already confirmed that these are the Yemeni drones, very primitive ones,
thank you
used
for your
for new
thoughts.
applications.
Mostafa Khoscheshm there.